So something like this time of year is actually really useful. It allows you to feel like you're outdoors without having to necessarily go all the way outdoors. You can still enjoy that fresh air, let the sun come in on your face. There's a reason why the Jeep Gladiator Mojave is probably one of my favorite Jeeps available for off-road, on-road, grabbing groceries, whatever I'm going to be doing, going on the rocks and the snow, bringing the family on a road trip or something. If I'm going to be getting a Jeep, my number one choice is always the Gladiator. And what we're going to do is get a full detailed review of this vehicle. We're going to do a test drive as well as look at a lot of the features of this vehicle up close and personal. This is going to be a very detailed video, so feel free to skip forward in certain parts if you don't want to watch the whole thing. But if you like details, you're in for a treat because we're going to be going over every single thing on this vehicle within reason, of course. I'm at Earnhardt Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, and you see they got the most ridiculous and full inventory. I'm over here in the Jeep section. You see there's like so many Gladiators, Wranglers on this. So Rubicon, Mojave, if you want the regular sport version, if you're trying to get some 4xe action, or if you just want a bright yellow sport version as well. But today we're going to be doing my favorite off-roader by Jeep. It's everything the regular Jeep Wrangler should be. So the 4-door one, where everything is lacking, this one makes up with. It comes with a nice big back, so you got plenty of room to store stuff, you know, actually be able to get it in here and not have to be playing Tetris just to get your stuff in there. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Slayage Me, and today we're doing one of my favorite vehicles out there, the Jeep Gladiator. Not the Rubicon, the Mojave. The first time I drove this vehicle, I got damn near addicted. There's a few things that's special about this vehicle compared to just the other Gladiators as well as the other Jeep lineup. Keeping it in the realms of 4 doors, when you compare this car to a vehicle like the Jeep Wrangler 4-door, like that one that just passed by right there, there's a couple things you have to compromise on when it comes to moving up to 4 doors and then trying to upgrade and have a little bit more seating space, etc., etc. There's a couple things that you lose out on, and there's a reason why they say the 4-door Jeep Wrangler is not a Jeep. Not my words. I didn't make up that phrase. I'm just a messenger. But stay tuned if you want to get more information. Look at her. She's a real beauty, mate. G'day, mate. I'm Mr. Slayage, and this is the Jeep Gladiator Mojave. And today we're going to be doing a test drive, but first we're going to look at the inside and look at all the little special features and find out what makes this vehicle so special. We're going to check out the gizmo parts in this car. We're going to see why this thing is good at going off-road in my hometown. We're going to see what makes this thing so special going off-road. So that means we're going to be looking at the suspension, because this one comes with a whopper. If you never see a video been flabbergasted, stay tuned. Sorry, that's my alter ego. As standard, this vehicle comes with 4-wheel drive, high and 4-low. But something special that comes with the Mojave is this upgraded suspension, different color schemes throughout the vehicle, as well as the axle lockers that come with this car. The Jeep Gladiator Mojave, as far as aesthetic differences between the Jeep Gladiator Mojave and say like the Rubicon, the first thing you notice is the different color of the tow hooks. You see right here, these tow hooks are orangish color. On the Rubicon, they're a red color. Now, if you look around here, you see all the little things that make each trim different. Like say for the e-tron, it's blue, Rubicon, it's red. The Mojave, it's orange accessories. Now we're gonna go around and see them all. Orange tow hooks covered in like a protective composite right here. You see right here the trim on the exterior of the lettering right here. As well as when you go around, this is probably my favorite feature, and it's probably one of the biggest reasons why this vehicle drives so smooth, especially if you're going to be taking like a road trip somewhere with a lot of potholes or something, like say like in Arizona going to the Grand Canyon or something. This vehicle works phenomenally, and it is my favorite vehicle to use for that trip because the roads suck. This suspension right here, I've mentioned and talked about the suspension, how great it is, how well it absorbs the bumps with the main piston as well as the additional side cylinder here. It does a great job of absorbing those little additional bumps on the road. Like say if you're trying to go somewhere where you can really use this vehicle off-road, you got to get to the trail first, and often when you're on your way to the trail, the road getting there start getting kind of crappy. If you went on the roads that I went there, damn near the whole damn trip has a bumpy, crappy road. And it definitely stands out when you're in the more inferior versions of the Gladiator. Not to say that the other models of the Jeep Gladiator are not good. Like the Sport has tremendous potential. Rubicon, great, has a great standard, but the top to me would be the Mojave because it comes with that little extra oomph for the Fox suspension. Like the thing that this offers, the other Jeeps kind of don't offer as far as the off-road department. Back into the main aesthetic details, as you see the orange cover right there, as well as right here where it says Mojave, orange trim going around. Here it's set up a little bit different. The side cylinder is down there opposed to being right here next to the front one. And then you got another set of tow hooks right here in the front in orange. Now let's look at some of the other special features. I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't know there's a lot of other features as far as upgrades that you can do this vehicle that is interchangeable between the different trims. Like say for the Mojave and the Rubicon, or even the Sport one, it's up to you if you want to upgrade your headlight to the special halogen ones and you can have that nice special bulb in there, or you can get the little Easter egg ones with the little Jeep face right there. One of the coolest things about Jeeps is their modularity. So that means the ability to open the hood up right here. Super simple. You see how that, boom, one, come the other side, two, just like that. I'm already almost there. And then you just put your hand in there. And then after that, you pop this open, nice, clean 3.6 liter engine. Hopefully this thing will be replaced by that new Hurricane engine soon. But either way, this engine performs great inside of this vehicle, especially with the gearing. It's enough power to get the job done, but I am looking forward to them doing that Hurricane engine so we can have a little bit of turbo action in there. A little more bottom end torque and top end torque. Push the hood down, latch that, same both sides. Checking out this tailgate, you got a nice light strip right here. And this automatic nice slow assist goes down because it's got a little spring in there. Spring on there on both sides there so it can help it go down nice and slow and controlled. As well as you got access ports in here. You got lights that come in the back of here. And last video I did of a Jeep Gladiator Rubicon went off-road, and that one had a little pack right here for like a little plug and everything. It's pretty dope. But you look around, you see there's hooks right here. There's hooks over there as well, so you can strap things down. And the reason why I love the tailgate on the Jeep Gladiator opposed to like having the back of the Wrangler, the 4-door Wrangler is what I'm comparing to specifically because I'm comparing a 4-door to a 4-door. Having a back like this allows you to just store so much more stuff. Like if you're trying to get people and all their stuff, the Gladiator, like you can get so much stuff in this thing. Like just imagine if you had a camper for this vehicle right here. I know people put campers on their pickup trucks, so you imagine if you had a camper for this, or even without a camper, but just having a camper is just so much more accessibility. Like when it comes to the tires on the Mojave, the tires that it comes with stock is probably the biggest size, honestly, that I would really want on this for ride comfort, fuel economy. It just feels way better having this size tire. I think this is a 33 285/70 R17, and this tire is decent size enough for someone like me. I don't necessarily need 35s because I like the smooth ride that this Fox suspension offers combined with a size tire like this. Maybe some people don't care about comfort on a road trip. Maybe some people don't care about their ride being smooth or trying to get somewhat good gas mileage in a big vehicle like this, because it's, let's face it, it's still gas, it's still naturally aspirated, it's still kind of big. So what's wrong with wanting good gas mileage, right? A super cool feature that the Gladiator shares with the Wrangler is the ability to simply and easily remove the doors, as well as be able to pivot this windshield a little forward for when you're doing all your off-road stuff and you want to get extra outdoorsy. Get your Steve Irwin on, turn it to the Crocodile. Now normally for the more adept 4x4 versions of the Jeep, it says trail rated, but this one being the Mojave, it says desert rated instead. Hence the reason why it comes with this beautiful Fox suspension, because it's going to help absorb those bumps and make the ride so much smoother. Definitely need that. In a little bit I'm going to show how you take this top part off. It's basically the same process for the Wrangler. Let's go ahead and get this started. You see a nice little screen right here. This is brand new, only 16 miles on it. And whenever you're in 2-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low, it shows it right there. Big fan of these big circular style vents right here. That's just me. Another good popular feature that's shared across with Dodge and Jeep is going to be this multimedia system, and for good reason though. It's really responsive, gets everything you need, straight to the point. Kind of hard to get confused with anything on here. A really nice clean display. That's always a plus. And one of my favorite features is how the windows, they roll down here in the center instead of being on the side of the door like it is on a lot of other vehicles. But looking right here, you got like a little 12 volt right here, USB-C and regular USB, as well as auxiliary. Now, if you're a real off-roader, there's a couple extra features that I know you'll appreciate. When you come down here, you got 4 auxiliary inputs. So that's like if you got special lights or if you need to hook up a winch or something like that, that's what these are going to be used for. You got off-road plus mode right here, as well as you got your axle locker, as you see right here, for rear only. Now, my personal opinion, I'm a big fan of this shifter. It has a nice solid feel in your hand. It's big, girthy, and it also has like little red accessories here, red accessory there. And the sport mode, nice and usable as well. I like that. Shifting into 4-wheel drive, you have to shift it while you're driving. So there's probably some people who own Jeeps and still don't even know how to shift to 4-wheel drive, because you have to pull back while you're driving. You got to be moving and then pull this straight back to go into 4 high. When you look around here, you see those definite Mojave accessories right here, those Mojave features. Even looking at the multimedia system, you see some of the font here is orange. You see that, opposed to being red. Around here, AC vents, orange. The trim on the shifter, orange. This shifter, orange. On the steering wheel, nice orange right here. That's another one of my favorite features about Jeep. Always pay attention to the details. But that's not it, because on the seat even has bright orange Mojave as well as extra trim right here. Orange trim in the back seat as well. One of the coolest features to me about the Jeeps is the roof, as well as other little storage compartments have this special little textured look to them. Has like a little textured pattern going all around little special spots. On the roof, right here in this storage container, right here shows a little bit, as well as inside the storage here and down there. I'm in the back seat right now, and I'm sitting behind myself. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of space right here. I don't feel like my feet are like up to my knees or anything, though they are up a little bit high. It's not quite as comfortable as the front seat, because in the front I can actually extend my legs out a little bit more, you know, reaching the pedals. But when I put my feet out, you know, I'm still pretty comfortable. And also you could drape your foot to the other side if you're really tall, if you have long legs like me. But if you're in the back seat, rest assured that there's extra amenities for you. 2 cup holders right here, as well as a plug if you want to plug in something. Maybe you got to make some coffee or something. You got 2 sets of USB and USB-Cs, as well as your window rollers are in the middle as well. No independent climate control in the back, but this isn't a luxurious vehicle anyway. If you're interested in luxury, I definitely suggest you go check out the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, because I did a video of the Series 3, which is the top of the tip for Jeep Grand Wagoneers. And let me tell you, they got a good screen in the back of that one. But I digress, back to the Gladiator. Another thing, there's a little window back here. It's not electric, but the good thing about not having an electric window back there, you don't got to worry about it having like malfunctions or stupid little problems like that. That's the benefit of having modular things that you can do manually, things that are man-powered, you know. Little windows like this are beneficial because it allows for that great cross breeze. You're probably wondering what this thing is right here. This was sitting here on the floor. All the Jeeps come with something like this. And this bag right here is the thing that you use for storing the roof parts. So when you take out these 2 roof panels, because it's not like the Wrangler where you can just throw them in the back, you don't want to just throw them in the back here because they'll get all scraped up. So as standard with the Gladiator, you get you a nice carrying case for those. Keep them nice and neat. Before we go to the price, first off, if you stayed this long, make sure you give me a good high five by giving me a thumbs up on this video. It's going to help out with the algorithm. What I do is real in-depth videos. So for people who want to be shopping for a car like this, you kind of get an outline of what to expect, not just a test drive. We look at everything in the vehicle. Back to video. So base price of this car is $50,995. I already said it's a 2023 brand new Jeep Gladiator Mojave 4x4. It comes with the top suspension available for any kind of off-road Jeeps. The Mojave has the dopest ones, at least in my opinion. It comes with a 410 gear ratio, so that means good torque delivery. 410 is a good number. And it says right here 33s, comes with 33-inch wheels. But this vehicle does come with a lot of extra features that come with it to bring the price up a little bit. But still, even at looking at the price, for what you get, standard 4x4, true definition, moonroof, not priced bad. And if it's too expensive, just get a pre-owned one. These panels right here are removable. This top 2 right here, you can completely do by yourself, but the back one, definitely gonna need a friend or some kind of pulley or system, some kind of rig so you can actually be able to get it off because it's kind of heavy. But what we can do is remove these panels right here, and I'll show you exactly how they come off. It's super simple. Undo all these clips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and boom, just like that. Oh, the whole thing comes off. It still has that new smell. It's never been taken off. There's a there's some kind of substance in it as a seal. That's how you know it's new. Let's pop this off right here. Just like with the regular Wrangler, both sides comes off completely easy. Look, I can one hand, and it's so lightweight too. It only weighs like maybe 20-30 pounds. The only thing that's weird about it is how far the weight is spread out. That's the only thing that's weird about it. It's only like 30 pounds though. And when you take them off, see, this is where you have the problem. This is the reason why you gotta have that storage bag. I'm not gonna open it because it's brand new, but you see when you place them back here, unless you're gonna be staying completely still, you're gonna need to put these things in some kind of storage, because look at this. Granted, the tops of these is covered like in like a protective surface, and it's not necessarily glossy or anything. It's kind of got that matte textured kind of feel as well. It's scratch resistant, but it doesn't mean that the marks won't show up on it for any little scratches. Just so we're on the same page, the strong point of this vehicle is not its turning radius or its crazy maneuverability like the two-door Jeep Wrangler. Now that's cool, that's a cool vehicle for what it is, but sometimes you need a little bit more than what that vehicle can offer. So when you want a little bit more, you got to be willing to give a little bit more. So you got to be able to give up some of that crazy turning radius. You got to give up that lightweightness. You got to give up the extra fuel economy you would normally have. But what you gain with this vehicle by upgrading to the Gladiator Mojave is an extended level of versatile practicality. Versatility that can be used in multiple situations. Like I said, I use this vehicle all the time for road trips. So shout out to Turo, because Turo allows me to try out all the different ones. I can try out the Mojave, I can try out the Rubicon, I can try out the regular, I can try out the whatever ones I want to, and still be able to not be committed to just one type. So excuse my enthusiasm. But when the car is exciting, it's exciting. So here in Arizona, finally we got the kind of weather where you can actually use a sunroof. So something like this time of year is actually really useful. It allows you to feel like you're outdoors without having to necessarily go all the way outdoors. You can still enjoy that fresh air, let the sun come in on your face. Stay tuned, because we're going to take this on a more thorough, in-depth test drive. Going to test out the four-wheel drive. Just going to get my overall vibe of what it's like riding one of these in typical use. I got an off-road video of the Gladiator Rubicon in the snow, and hopefully in the future we can get one of these Mojaves off-road in the desert. So when you put the roof panels on, it's super simple. Like I said, it's only like 30 pounds, so holding it above my head is nothing. Take the flat side, face that forward. Put these sun visors down, it makes it easier. And make sure this is down all the way as well, so then it can actually grab onto it. And there's a white little finger that you just push into this black hole, no pun intended, and it goes in there nice and smooth. Just repeat on the other side and that's it. Because it has like a little cushion membrane right here, you gotta remember that the passenger side goes underneath the driver's side panel. So either make sure it slides under or just put the passenger side on first. White finger into the black hole. Now it's just a matter of just pushing all the little things back in. Real simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that was quicker than an electric version. Like say if it was an electric moonroof. Manual is always faster with something like this. Plus you don't got to worry about stuff like that breaking. You know? And you don't got to worry about the extra cost of paying for something like this being electric. Now I've already mentioned how one of my favorite features about this vehicle, the Mojave, is that it has like this super smooth suspension. Now it's something you can't really appreciate just driving on a normal road like this, you know, especially at slower speeds. It's something you really appreciate when you're going like 60, 70, 80 miles an hour on the freeway, and then you got that random pothole, you got that random rough spot on the road, where in some of the other trims, the road would seem unbearable. It would start to become unpleasant, especially if you got to use the bathroom. You know, the slightest little pothole, the slightest bump makes that road feel like it's taking forever for you to get through. But with the Mojave, with this dual Fox suspension, it takes the ride comfort to like a whole nother level. Now this one comes with a 3.6 liter V6 engine. Now even though this Jeep is still hitting power numbers below 300, that means below 300 foot-pounds of torque and below 300 horsepower, it still has more than enough power to help you deliver through whatever you're going through, your little terrain, because the gear is at 410. Most cars are about, like, say 297, 3.0 or something, so it's a really low number. But this has a really high number, 410. That means it has lower gears. The terminology can be confusing, so I'll save it for you. That means that the drive shaft spins 4.1 times for every 1 wheel revolution. So that allows more engine torque and power to be produced much easier without strain. So I'm purposely going over like speed bumps on the side of the road just to feel what it feels like. And it feels actually really decent. Like I said before, most of the stuff you're going to really notice is going to be on the freeway, or if you're really going to be going off-roading and really comparing side by side with the Rubicon versus what the Mojave feels like. You're going to notice a lot more give in the Mojave, because not only is the suspension cylinder bigger, but also this one has a side reservoir to allow exchange of fluid, so it allows you to have an even more smooth ride. Don't let this vehicle's lack of power on paper stop you or make you think that it's not capable. Right off the line, when you put the acceleration down, you feel the power, you feel that torque, as well as in reverse too. You feel the power all through all the gears. It's easy to get up and going. Now, it's not going to blow your doors off. It's not the fastest car on the road, but it gets the job done. First time I drove a Jeep, I didn't know how to shift into 4 high. I said that before, so I'm gonna give you a demonstration. When you're driving, all you gotta do is very simple. Pull that all the way back. Now I'm in 4 high. And you notice the difference because your steering starts to get a little bit more, because you're putting power through a wheel that's turning, you know, so when torque is applied, it causes the turning to be thrown off. Same principle when you put your foot on the gas and the engine goes, because the torque is going through the driveline. But the 4x4 capabilities in this vehicle are definitely good. I feel like I didn't even need the axle locker or off-road plus mode when I was driving in the snow off-road. You know, it's like really thick stuff, mushy, slushy stuff. In the wrong hands, if you have no off-road experience, very easy to get stuck. Quick story. So I used to be in the military. So I've been off-roading in those up armored Humvees, you know, the ones that they use in the military. And I've gotten one of those stuck in some deep mud, as well as I've got one of those mine resistant vehicles that they use overseas. I got that stuck in the mud. Thank goodness it was all just during training. That allowed me to build some skills off-road and how to drive off-road and not get stuck. As long as you understand the basic principles of off-roading, just going into 4 high was enough for me. I didn't even need off-road plus or the axle locker. But those extra features are there if you need them. And you hear that? It has an automatic start-stop for the engine just to save a little bit of gas. So when you're stopping, you know, say if you're driving around, going here, there, you stop at a stoplight, the engine's gonna cut off, nice and silent. As long as your foot is all the way on the brake, now it's dead silent. But when you take your foot off the brake, it starts back up like an instant, literally right back up. But if you are one of those guys that want to be frisky first, you got to switch it into 4-wheel high. And then after that, you'll be able to push other features. Features like off-road plus. Now it says traction control off. So that allows you to actually be able to transfer your power through the wheels as best as possible with the minimum slippage issues. And you see it changes here on the screen. It's showing that you're locked here, rear axle locker, unlocked. It shows what you got going on here. So if I want the rear only, see, I can cancel axle lock, or I can lock the axle in the rear. Now off-road plus, it shows it right there. Axle lock canceled. It shows what the transfer case is doing. So I got it in 4 high, steering angle 0. But as I change my angle, it changes. This allows you to get real technical with your off-roading. And even look at this, latitude, longitude, and altitude, 1261. And if you want to get next level, go to your accessory gauges and look at all your stuff while you're driving, or even look at pitch and roll so you know what angle you're at, because you don't want to be one of those guys that goes a little too far back or a little too far to the side. But personally, I don't need that, so I'm going to turn off-road plus off and switch it back to 2 high because I'm not doing any off-roading. It's not even raining today. I'm actually going to test out the manual shifter. I got to see how that thing performs. And 1, down to go up in gears. 2. It definitely gets plenty good acceleration, especially for a Jeep Gladiator. You got to remember that this is a big vehicle, so it's not going to drive the same way your little Honda or something would. So comparing the acceleration of this to like a smaller car is completely irrelevant. If you ever use manual shift in your car, sometimes to shift up you have to push up, literally up, but in this vehicle it's the opposite. You push down to go up in gears, so I was getting it backwards a little bit. Now this one comes with an automatic 8-speed transmission, and having an 8-speed automatic allows for you to get increased miles per gallon, you know, so increased fuel economy, as well as different RPM option for different speeds. Average fuel economy on this car is about 19 miles per gallon. For what you get, I'd say that's pretty good, though keep in mind if you decide to get like a lift or bigger tires, it's gonna affect that number a little bit, you know, so just keep that in mind. As well as when you get a lift and bigger tires, it affects the ride quality as well, so no more smooth guy going on. But if you're someone who's getting a Jeep to give Jeep stuff, then you're gonna definitely have a good time enjoying this vehicle, because the practicality as well as flexibility available for this car is top notch. The next question is, who's this vehicle for? If you're like me and you want to be able to go off-roading, say with your family, and you got to understand that sometimes you got to take a road trip to get there. So I like to include the trip there as part of the journey. What I like about the Gladiator opposed to like a Wrangler is you got that whole bed. It makes it so much easier for storing your stuff in there. You don't have to get too crazy resourceful with your storing, because when you have a 4-door Wrangler, that little back cubby isn't enough to really store all your bags if you're trying to do like a really long trip. Say if you want to do like 1-2 weeks, and if you're gonna be bringing girls with you, come on, you know how they like to pack. Trust me, she'll thank you, because you'll have extra space to be able to carry all her little knick-knack paddywhacks. Plenty of space for you in the back. Plus, as standard with the Mojave, you get the upgraded suspension, so that means on your way to where you're going to be doing your off-roading, you can enjoy a smooth ride. Because I don't know about where you guys go off-roading, but when I go off-roading, as you start leaving the city area, the road starts getting rougher and rougher and rougher. So imagine making that rough ride just so much smoother, because this car puts away potholes like the way I put away pizza. Now I know some people don't like the price of a brand new version of something like this. That's why there's a pre-owned market, so you can still be able to have the opportunity to get something like this without necessarily feel like you're breaking the bank, because some people, I mean, because let's be honest, everybody can't afford to get a new version of this. Hopefully this in-depth review helped answer a couple of your questions, maybe some of your concerns. Other than that, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.